Hi guys, so today I'm going to do the Get to Know You tag. I originally saw this on the Beauty Line channel with Rachel over on Beauty Line. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in because it's a little long. So, your name. My name is Nicole. I was born Nicole Jennifer Louise, but I only go by Nicole Jennifer now. I changed that when I got married. I dropped the Louise because I never used it. Nicknames. So when I was growing up, my nickname was Tenderheart, and I got that nickname because of volunteering with special needs students in my school when I was in grade 5 and 6, then carried over into junior high. That's a name that one of the teachers gave me, and it just kind of carried through. Then when I started dating my husband's nickname is Dagger, so I got the nickname Dagger's Girl. And we use that a lot in the beginning of our relationship. We don't use it so much anymore. And then also, my husband also calls me Nikki, and so does my sister Erin, and a few other people. But I like the name. I just don't like being called it. I don't think I am Nikki. So those would be my three nicknames. My birth date is March the 5th. My star sign is Pisces. My occupation. So by education, I'm a social worker and a sex and drug counselor. Currently, I work as a complex support worker with people that primarily are living homeless, which is just it's a form of social work. It's not a social worker. I am registered as a social worker. My title's not social worker, but I'm doing social work, if that makes sense. My national hair color is this color. It's light brown. I don't know, maybe you can see better on this side because of the sun. It's light brown. It has some light blonde highlights in it from the sun. It will get lighter and lighter as the summer goes on, or once we get into spring and then into summer. I also have a patch in the back of my skull, like right about here somewhere, but it's under this hair, somewhere in here. It's about this long and it's about this wide, and it's strawberry blonde hair. And I'm told that comes from my mom's dad. He passed away when I was 6, so I don't really remember what color hair he had because I only remember him as pretty much bald. But apparently he has strawberry blonde hair, and it's the only strawberry blonde hair on either side of my family. So that's, I guess, where that comes from. Eye color, I have blue eyes. If you guys can see my eyes, they're blue. They look a little gray on the camera, but they're blue. They're baby blue. Best feature. I don't really think of myself in this feature's good, this feature's bad. I just kind of accept myself for who I am. But people have told me that my best feature is my baby blue eyes, so I guess that would be my best feature. Have you ever had braces? Yes, I did. I had them in grade 8, 9, 10, and 11. I had them to straighten my teeth and also my jaw. I have TMJ and TMG. I'm going to talk about those in a different video in the coming months. But TMJ is problems with the joint of the jaw. TMG is problems with the nerve that's behind the joint. I had them, but if you look at my teeth now, they are crooked, and that is because I did not wear my retainer after my braces came off. Classic issue. So yeah, I did have them. I may have to get them again because in November I lost a tooth over here to an abscess, and then I still have a gaff over here. So I might get the behind the teeth or the clear ones at some point to straighten out my teeth, just because I have a lot of sensitivity issues in my mouth. But for now, my 4 years of braces is all. Do you have any piercings? So the only piercings I have left are these two. This is my original piercings. I had them when I was about age 6 months. And I wear gold hoops in them all the time. The last time I remember not wearing the gold hoop and wearing something else was I wore a pearl when I got married 6 years ago, because I had a purple and white pearl necklace and bracelet, so I wore purple studs just for the ceremony. My ears are very, very sensitive, so I just wear gold hoops all the time, and I only take them out for medical reasons. And the only time I remember, like I said, wearing a different one, last time I remember wearing a different one was for my wedding. I used to have my belly button pierced. That got ripped out in a fight when I was 21. I also used to have up here pierced. That got ripped out in a fight around the same time, not the same fight. And then I used to have my tongue pierced twice, once really close to the front and one kind of middle-ish. And how I lost those, the story of that is around the time I got it done was around when I wasn't making a lot of great choices in my life. So I got them done, told my grandmother. She said, I wish you didn't get it done, but, it is what it is. But don't tell your grandfather. Don't call and talk to your grandfather until your tongue goes down, because my tongue was really swollen. Anyone that has their tongue pierced would know that. It swells a lot at first, and then it goes down to normal. And so she said, please don't call and talk to him until it's settled down, so he doesn't know. And then when he sees you, hopefully he won't notice. And if he does, we'll figure it out then. So I said, okay, that's good. But around that same time, there was a newspaper article that came out about someone who got their tongue pierced in Europe in like a back alley or a dirty tattoo place, or I don't exactly remember what it was. But the tongue got infected, the mouth got infected. They ended up getting like an infection in their brain or something. I don't even know. It was some crazy story. And my grandfather was like, see, that's why you guys never get your tongue pierced and never get any piercings that aren't approved and whatever. And about a week after that, my grandfather had a massive heart attack. So I went, obviously, to see my grandfather. And this was about a week after my tongue was subsided. And so down to normal, could eat, could drink, whatever. So I went to see him, and sitting outside the hospital, I take out the 2 stents, because I'm like, I don't want him to see them while he's had a massive heart attack. I don't want to cause his heart any more stress. So go in, only allowed to see him about an hour because he was on the cardiac intensive care unit. So then I come out, so it's been maybe an hour and a half altogether, and I try to poke them back through, and the bottom will let it go through, but the top won't, because my tongue was starting to heal. So I said, okay, that's fine. I'll just wait till I get to my Grammys, and I'll just pierce it through with a proper mirror and stuff. So by the time I got to my grandmother's, it was probably a total of 3 hours maybe since I got it taken out, and both the top and the bottom had started to heal over. Because as you probably know, when you bite your tongue, it heals up pretty quick. So anyways, I got the brainiac idea that I was going to sterilize a darning needle, poke it through. So I did that, put my studs back in, and within a couple weeks, my tongue was swollen, the inside of my mouth was swollen, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink. I was having trouble breathing because I had trouble breathing through my nose, so I only breathed probably 5 to 10% of my air through my nose, and then the rest is supposed to be through my mouth, and then everything was swollen, so I couldn't do that. So I had to take them out. I got a really bad infection in my tongue. Had to go on antibiotics, it was a whole big long story, and I can do a video on that later if you guys want me to. You can link it down below of what happened. It was a pretty crazy story. But when I went to go get them redone, I have scar tissue right down the middle of my tongue, because your tongue is 2 muscles, and right down the middle is scar tissue. So where I went, which is a good place, they said if you do that, if you get it pierced again and we hit that scar tissue, you could lose nerve usage in your mouth, your face, your neck. I said, it's not worth it. So that's how I lost those. Tattoos. I did plan on getting a lot of tattoos over my life, and I'm very glad that I didn't, because I would regret most all of them now. But what I do plan to do, I will be getting tattoos on both of my wrists. So on my my left wrist, I'm going to be getting a blue-purple cornflower here. Cornflower is the international sign, of ALS awareness, and I'll be getting that for my mother-in-law. So I'll be getting that about the size of maybe a toonie, and then her name written on, and then the date that she passes away. She's in late stages now. So whenever that is, I'll be getting that on that wrist. And on this arm wrist area, I'm going to be getting something from my grandparents. So in loving memory of Grammy and Grampy, their dates of death, always in my, I know I want it to say always in my heart, and I know I want to have Grammy and Grampy, and I want to have the dates of death. So I might do it this way, do Grammy, date, Grampy, date, always in my heart. So I might do it this way. My grandfather has passed away. It will be 2 years on June the 7th. My Grammy is still with us, but she's getting up in years. So I've started to think about what that design would look like. So right now I don't have any. Lefty or righty, I'm predominantly left. I was born left, or I learned left, I guess. But then my left hand spent 18 months in a hard and soft cast when I was in late elementary school. So I had to learn to write with the right hand. I can now write with both. So I'm ambidextrous, or whatever, however you say that word, ambidextrous. Anyways, but I still choose to use the left hand if I can. My first best friend was, with the exception of my sisters, Erin and Shanna. My best friend was Michelle Burke. I met her when I was in grade 5. She was a few years older than me. She did all of her work in the special ed room that I used to volunteer at, because she had leukemia and then also had brain cancer when she was younger, right before I met her. And as a result, she was legally blind, and she had severe epilepsy. So she had to wear one of those soft helmet-y things. So I met her there, but she did a lot of the functioning in our school with the rest of everyone, which everyone should do that. All kids should be mainstreamed. But anyways, back then we weren't mainstreaming. But she had to do like her work, because she had to use a braille machine and all that stuff. She had to do that in the special ed room. But unfortunately, in April of our grade 9 year, she had a really bad seizure, hit her head really hard, ended up with a brain bleed, and she passed away. So she's my first best friend, other than my 2 sisters, like I said. My first award, I don't really remember winning a first award when I was young. I'm guessing it had something to do with math, because in school it's either math or English. English I'm horrible at, so I'm guessing I didn't win a spelling bee or anything like that. And I'm really good at math. I've always been really good at math. I have my dad's math brain, so I'm guessing it was some sort of math award, but I don't really know. For sport, I would say for sport would be swimming. I was born in March. My grandmother had me in the lake that they lived on that summer, so I was like a few months old. And then I think when I was a year and a half-ish, I started swimming. My dad took me to swimming lessons. And then when I was maybe 3 or whatever age it would be that you start swimming on your own in lessons, I did that. I went through all the colors. I don't even know if it's a color system anymore, and that's also a Canadian system because I live in Canada. I went through all those, went through the pre-lifeguard, went through lifeguarding, went on to synchronized swimming, did that competitively for a bit. Yeah, so that's why the first sport, if you don't consider swimming a sport, which some people may not, it would be volleyball. Volleyball I played all through junior high, so grade 7, 8, 9, and then I played at grade 10, and half of grade 11, and halfway through the year of grade 11, I hurt my right knee and was unable to play anymore. First real holiday, the first holiday I remember, I was probably 4 because my papa, which is my mom's dad, passed away when I was 6, a little after I was 6, and the memory involves him. So it's Thanksgiving with my grandmother, my nanny, my papa, and my mom, my dad, my siblings, my cousins that were born at that point, obviously, and all my aunts and uncles. And my and it being one of the things I really remember is the male-dominated position, the female-dominated position. So my grandfather was at the head of the table. He carved the turkey. He, asked people what they wanted, that sort of thing. My grandmother did all the cooking, did all the baking, served everyone. So it was very traditional roles. And apparently that's how my papa ran his house. Very, very, very traditional roles. So that would be the first actual holiday. The other one that I remember that's around the same time is with my other set of grandparents. So they had a lake house that they turned into a house, and then the back of the property was a big hill. And I don't it was at Christmas time. I don't remember how old I was, probably about around the same age. And I remember tobogganing down the big hill with my grampy and being afraid we were going to hit the house. We never did, because he had it set up all good. There was like a snow wall and stuff at the bottom, whatever. But I also have that memory of Christmas time, not actual Christmas though. My first concert, I believe, was Celine Dion when I was in grade 5. Yeah, don't remember anything before that. My first film that I went to see, I honestly don't remember. Couldn't tell you. My favorite film when I was a child, and I don't really remember what it was when I was little. It was probably something Disney, but I loved Girl Interrupted when I was a teenager, in both versions, the old version and the new version with Angelina Jolie, because it kind of spoke to my life, I guess. My favorite TV show when I was little was definitely Full House. Loved Full House. I also love the TGIF special that I think it was ABC did. So it was Family Matters, Step by Step, and 2 other shows that I cannot for the life of me remember what they were. But it made up like a 2-hour, I think it was from like 7:30 to 9:30-ish, or at least where I lived, on the East Coast, where it was just like family programming. Favorite color. So my favorite color is purple, and you will see purple stuff all the time, but I'm just going to show you a few of my favorite purple things, because a couple of the tags I'm going to do ask this, so I'm going to show you a few different things in a few different videos of what I have that's purple. So my fingers are the first thing. I get them, they're gel nails, and so this is my homemade, or not homemade, made by my the girl that does my nails, winter. So it's, oh sorry, I'm gonna stick up that finger. So it's a dark purple. Then I have a light purple that's custom made for me that I switch to once the snow's gone, once it's warmer, and I do that all spring, all summer, all fall until it starts to get cold, and then I go back to this color. And it's never the same color quite twice, because she always has to add more, but it's the same, roughly the same color, custom color. I have this that I just got that you would have seen in my Bed Bath & Beyond haul, or Bed Bath & Beyond? No, HomeSense, sorry. This is my new purple lunchbox that I got. Purple leopard print. My binder that I'm using for my YouTube stuff, that's purple on both sides. To go with my lunchbox, this is my favorite purple water bottle. It's one of the ones from Costco. It's Contigo, Contigo. It's one of the ones that you have to push at the back in order to get the liquid to come out. So this is my favorite purple water bottle, but I actually have 6. So sometimes it gets gross, or if I'm sick or whatever. And then other times I don't use this one only for water, but some of my other ones that you just open and there's just the hole there to drink. If I take like juice with me or something for some reason, I'll use those. But I have 6 different purple water bottles. My cell phone case is purple. My small day planner is purple, it has little purple flowers. And oh yes, you would have seen this in my HomeSense. No, not HomeSense. So this in my Bed Bath & Beyond. This is my new exercise mat, and it's super thick, and it's purple, and I waited until I could find a purple one. All right, I think that shows a little bit of my obsession with my purple. Favorite song? I don't know, I have a few favorite songs. Probably Try by, or these are some ones that I really like. These are top contenders. I don't really have a favorite, I guess. Try by Pink. Unwell by Matchbox 20, just because those two I think really symbolize my life a lot. You're the Inspiration by Chicago, because that's my wedding song. And then anything April Wine, Steppenwolf, that genre of music, because that's what I grew up with my dad. Next, favorite restaurant. I have so many food allergies that I eat pretty much the same thing from everywhere, so I don't really have favorite restaurant per se. Probably for like quick food would be Pressed. I don't know if that they have that in the area, but it's like sandwiches and soups and salads. It's all homemade. Like the bread's homemade. It's all locally grown fruits and vegetables. And yeah, it's amazing. All like the turkey, they like cook a turkey every day and carve it up. It's amazing. And then I guess for restaurants, sit down, probably might be a place called The Dish here in, yeah, that's where we've went a couple years for our anniversary, and it's really good, really small, all local again. Those are the type of things that I like. I like buying my fruits and vegetables from farmers markets. I like that whole local community thing. Favorite store? Definitely not Target. Target sucked when it came to Canada, and it sucks now that it's leaving. I go to Walmart a lot, so probably Walmart, I guess. My favorite clothing store is probably Old Navy. That's where I get like these tank tops from. Actually, that's where this is from. My husband can find a lot of good clothes there, so probably Old Navy. Favorite books. So I have two favorite book series. One is Tweak and Beautiful Boy. So Tweak is the is written in first person encounter by Nick. Nick, how do you say your last name? Shelf, Sheff. As I said before, not good at English, not really good at pronouncing things. Anyways, this is his account of his time addicted to crystal meth. It's an amazing book. Amazing book. And if you want to get inside the head and understand someone, because he's now clean, he's now moved past it, but how he reflects back on that time, amazing book. I would strongly suggest it. Beautiful Boy is actually written in the same time frame, but it's written by his dad, David, about what it was like to parent a teenager and then early 20-year-old who was addicted to crystal meth. It's amazing. This is a great book. I suggest this for anyone that's working with family members of someone who is using a substance, because this is a great encounter to get inside the head of someone who's actually experienced what it's like to see their child almost die, on multiple occasions. Try to give everything to their child to try to change the circumstances, and come to realize that it's up to the child to make the change. It's amazing. The other series that I love is by David. I can't pronounce anything, you guys. Pelzer, and it is A Child Called It, The Lost Boy, and then A Man Named Dave. So these books are the encounter of, they're written by Dave, about Dave's life. They're about his struggle with abuse from his mom, severe abuse from his mom. The first one is kind of like what it was like living in his home as a very young child, and some of the brutal stuff that she made him do. The second one, The Lost Boy, he actually lives in care for a lot of this time, because it's called Lost Boy, a foster child's search for love of a family. And his mom's still in the picture, and trying to force her way back in and stuff. It's an amazing book. And then what completes that series is A Man Named Dave, which he wrote when he was, I think, mid-20s. And this is kind of his coming of age from the abuse, from the foster home, from all those things. And now I'm an adult. My name's Dave. How he became a well-adjusted adult and what he went through to become a well-adjusted adult, because that didn't happen overnight with everything that happened to him. And then Dave has actually went on to write a whole series of self-help books. So the first one in that series I actually have a few others, but this is the first one in the series that he wrote a few years after A Man Named Dave, is Help Yourself. A 3-step plan to turning adversity into triumph. Amazing book. Amazing man. I'm hoping to get the opportunity to hear him speak. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. A few places that he's speaking, I actually could be going to those conferences, so I'm very excited. I'll pretty much do anything, give up anything else for the conference to hear him speak. Like, I've seen him speak on YouTube, and I've seen him, like, podcast, stuff like that, read a ton of stuff that he's written as an adult, but I'd love to hear him speak. Favorite magazine. Now, you guys are probably going to think I'm wacko, but I don't read a lot of magazines, because, you read them, then they pile up and whatever. But every year, and this is, I think, a couple of years ago, this one is from, I do not know. It's a couple of years ago, I think. Anyways, I read the Maclean's Special Edition, Canada's Most Notorious Crimes. Yes, I'm obsessed with criminal justice, and true life crimes just fascinate me. As you can probably tell from my 2 books, true life, anything kind of fascinates me. Like, I'm not into fantasy books, science fiction stuff. I want real life stuff. But magazines, I want to be reading stuff that's actual factual. So I don't read anything. I definitely don't read tabloids, but I don't really read any of the other magazines that you can get at the like Walmart or whatever, because I don't find that they're fully factual. This is factual. All of these notorious cases, this was written, the Maclean's writers wrote this based on not just news articles, but based on police reports and police findings and stuff like that. So I love getting the special edition. I get it every year. This is a couple years old, like I said. But I really love when they come out with ones about crime. Love it. Favorite shoes? Flip-flops? Well, actually, let's back up. If I had the choice, I'd never wear shoes. I'd go barefoot everywhere. But my favorite type of shoes are either flip-flops, which I wear pretty much from when the snow is starting to leave the ground, when it's not icy anymore, right up until when the snow comes again, unless I need to be wearing a different type of shoe for something. And to work, because I'm not allowed to wear flip-flops to work, I can't have open toes, I wear flats all the time. Even in the winter, this winter when I was doing work on the map van, so I was outside all the time, working with the homeless population out on the streets, I was only wearing sneakers. Like, I couldn't bring myself to wear boots even when it was minus 40 out. So these are a few questions about currently... Oh no, the question is currently feeling. How are you feeling? I'm feeling like this video is getting really long, so I want to rush it along a little bit. Currently single or taken. I'm married. Currently eating. What was the last thing I ate? Holy cow, what did I eat today? I don't even remember. Oh! Homemade mac and cheese made with vegan cheese, because I'm not supposed to eat cheese. I mean, I can take my cheese pills, but I can't do that all the time. And gluten-free pasta. It was freaking delicious. Currently listening to, I listen to Now Radio, a 102.3 FM. Listen to them all the time. It's an amazing interaction between the host and the listeners. They call the listeners the Now family. and it's a great mix of music because they play like kind of like poppy, modern day music for the most part, but then they do these things called now wows, which can be any genre of music from any year. They do 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday. They do 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. the now takeover, and people just text in what songs they want to hear, and that can be any genre of music. It's an amazing, amazing station. Currently thinking about probably my Grammy. I'm always thinking about my Grammy since my Grampy passed away. Like I said, coming up on 2 years ago. I just worry about her. She's alone. Sorry, my hair's bugging me. She's alone. She still lives in the same apartment. She has a friend that comes down a lot, but like she's starting to get some failing health conditions, and yeah, so that's probably who I think about the most. Currently watching, I watch a few different things, but currently I'm obsessed, since I hurt my back, obsessed with Sons of Anarchy, and my husband and I are almost done the whole entire thing in like a month, which I know people binge watch even faster, but my husband's still working full time. So if you look at that, he's gone 40 to 50 hours a week. Excuse me. So I'm not watching it without him. If you take those hours out plus sleep out, like it's still a lot to watch. I love Sons of Anarchy. Currently wearing, so like I said before, this is my wonderful Old Navy, one of my Old Navy hoodies. Just a red tank from Old Navy, and I'm wearing some black like lounger pants. I didn't really get too dressed up for this, sorry guys. So let's talk about the future. Do you want to get married? I am married. I'll be married 6 years in May. Career, I believe I have the career that I want. I want to be a social worker. And that's what I'm doing in some form or another. Where would you like to move to? I would love to move back to Newfoundland if I was able. And we will do that at some point. And then a few questions about, do you believe in? So do you believe in God? I do not believe in God as like say as a Christian or whatever. I did grow up in the United Church and / Anglican Church. I had some few tragedies happen to me that I couldn't understand why God would do that, and that's what started my descent into not really believing in God. Now, I do believe in a higher power. I do believe there is something that guides us. Probably if I had to connect myself to a religion or a way of thinking around that's God, like it's probably Buddhism. But I don't consider myself a Buddhist. I don't do the full practices, but that would probably be the closest, believing in something's guiding us, believing in, I guess I'm more spiritual than believing in God. So more spiritual than religious. Do you believe in miracles? I do believe in miracles. I've also had some times in my life, I did just talk about how I couldn't understand why God would do that. I've also had some times in my life where things have happened that shouldn't have happened that way. Like, I shouldn't have, like, for instance, I guess, would be a car accident that I was in when I was in grade 12. We were T-boned really bad. And yes, that's where my back and shoulder and neck and injuries started from mostly. But how me and my sister Anne were not killed, I don't know, like that, there's something. Kind of like that higher power, he was giving us some protection. I do believe in guardian angels, though. I think that my papa, who passed away when I was 6, my best friend Michelle, who passed away when I was in grade 9, so what would that be, 14, 15, have looked out over me. And then also in the last year and a half since my Grampy passed away, I definitely think that he's watching over me. There's been a few times where it's just like, I want to do something different and I don't, and things turn out for the best, and I believe it's because he's watching over me. Do you believe in love at first sight? I believe in attraction at first sight. I believe that you can kind of look at someone and know you're going to marry them. I mean, when I first met my husband, which you'll hear in another video that I'm going to talk about, how it's going to call how I met my best friend, or sorry, how I came to marry my best friend. When I first saw him, I knew that he was someone special. Actually, that's not even true. When I first talked to him, I knew that he was someone special, and that's why I actually self-detoxed from cocaine, which once again, I'll talk about in that other video. But, so I do believe in connection at first sight. I don't know if it's love or if it's lust. I don't really know. But I do believe in connection at first sight, for sure. Do you believe in ghosts? I don't know. I kind of do. And I kind of don't. I don't, yeah, I guess I don't really have an opinion on it. Aliens, I don't know if it's aliens per se, but I do believe that there's life on other planets, I guess. There's something outside of Earth. If they're aliens, I don't know. Maybe it's another Earth just like this. I don't know. Soulmates. Do you believe in soulmates? I do. I do believe in soulmates. I think soulmates can be, I believe that my husband is my soulmate, but I also believe that my two sisters, Erin and Shanna, are my soulmates as well, in different ways. And I will talk about them each all in their own video. But, Sammy Dale. But yeah, I do believe in soulmates, yeah, I guess. Heaven and hell. Yeah, I do believe in heaven. I believe, actually, and this is going to sound weird not being religious, but I don't know that there's a hell. I think everyone goes to heaven, but I believe that everyone is reincarnated, which goes back to the Buddhism. And if you live a great life, then you will be reincarnated into the next step closer to Dalai Lama. Like a more enriched life, things will be, the struggles that you did have, some of those will be resolved. If you make some poor choices in this life, I believe you come back in some form to repent for those things. So, if you're one of these serial killers, you might come back as the spouse of someone who is going to be murdered, or you're gonna be that person who is murdered, or you're gonna somehow connect back to those things that you've done, and you're gonna see it from a different side. And then the choices that you make in that life will just depend on whether you're going to continue down seeing how you always see how your choices affected other people in the next life. So if you're making very good choices, then you'll see it in a positive way, and maybe if you're not making such great choices, you might see it in a negative way. Kiss on the first date, absolutely. Like, how the heck do you know if you want a second date without a kiss? And do you believe in yourself? I do believe in myself. I do believe in what I'm trying to accomplish in the world. I do believe in the power of one. So yeah, I do believe in myself. I mean, I do have self-doubt for sure. Some that comes from my mental health, some that just comes from circumstance. But I do believe in myself. I do believe that I can make positive change. And I think, and last question to that is, do I believe in others? Even though it's not there, I'll say it. I do believe in everyone. I do believe that everyone has the ability to change. They need two things. They need to have the willingness to change, and they need the resources to change. So I can't give someone the willingness to change. And I know from my drug use and my high-risk behaviors and stuff that I used to do, until I was ready, forget it. So that the person needs to come to on their own. But the second thing, the resources and the support to make change, that's where I want to be. I want to be there when that person decides that they want to go to treatment, or they want to get mental health or treatment, or they want to start working with children's services, who I used to work for, around getting their kids back. I don't think it's ever too late to make a change. And yeah, I believe in others. Wholeheartedly, I believe in others. And sometimes it gets me into trouble. And sometimes for the most part, it's a very good thing. So that's my very long, almost, well, it will be 40-minute tag on getting to know me. I hope that helped you guys get to know me a little bit better. If you liked it, please thumbs up down below. And also subscribe to my channel for more to come. Okay, see you guys.